Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Women Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello, how are my lovelies? How's my royalty? Okay, so we're gonna get started. So make sure you get that boiling hot patty tea. It's like, yeah, you can get the frozen cold tea, but just don't add ice. Yeah, we don't want anything to do with ice. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about them more. I still wonder which one of my exes have joined. I'm going to come up with my hypothesis because I think all of them have a possibility. Different percentages of possibility, but possibility. Because Mr. Lockakey is great at stealing things, and he's always lied and manipulated and all different types of things. So I see him jumping at the chance, but the only thing is, he could hardly pass a test to save his life and his criminal record. He had to pay to. Oh, yeah, have I told that story? Yeah, he's on the list. This man had the nerve to blackmail me and try to just force me into a relationship, and then me trying to break up with him. Okay, here, like, there are so many ways that he manipulated me or tried to force me. No other woman's gonna want me. Who's gonna want me? Oh my gosh, baby, you gotta stay with me. You gotta stay with me because no one else is gonna want me. And then I'm gonna have no reason to be on this earth. It's like, what happened years ago? I didn't know her age. She lied about her age. I didn't know. How am I supposed to know? It's like, I asked. I think I asked. I don't know. It's like, isn't it her responsibility to tell me? Isn't she supposed to tell me? Mm. But then I think a year or two before I was able to get freedom from him, he found some kind of website that you pay them and they'll take it off your record. And he kept trying to brag about I didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't want to hear about it. And then when he asked me if I would loan him money, no, I'm not going to help you do that. You're on that list. And he was like, my neighbors won't have to know anymore. Oh. Yeah, when I say Mr. Lakaki is a no, in my opinion, of course, in my opinion. But yeah, it's like he wanted to lie. He wanted to lie he lied all of the time. It's like, in order to get me, he lied. And to keep me, he lied. With all of his friends, he lied. Again, stealing from one job after another after another. And then me not knowing that he's stealing from these jobs, his bosses are coming up to me asking me. And at first I didn't know. But then once I knew, then bagging up, like, yeah, go listen to that episode when I had to bag up the stuff that he stole from that job and took it to that job place, met the owner. That was embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Especially as a black woman going up there. And this despicable guy. Listen to the breadstick episode. I've said that so many episodes, but it's an episode where you won't believe it. He lied to me to go on date night. And he was proud to lie because he was trying to get me in trouble. Because he said once he got me in trouble, I would never leave him. Because I would be stuck at the same level as him. And he said, who's going to trust a black woman over a white man? And that's why, yeah, you have to be careful with these colonizing men. Because with Lockakey and Paul and, let's see, Pete and David and another David and, yeah, Scott and, yeah, it's like, and some people are going to be like, why'd you date all these white guys? Because a lot of the black men kept saying, I'm a white girl, want to be. I'm an Oreo. It's like that I have no business being black because of either my education or how I speak or that the music that I like or my hobbies or interests. Yeah, they were saying I'm not black enough. And they kept wanting me to change. And like I've said in other episodes, a lot of these MAGA men want to date liberal women to change them. Because a lot of those colonizing men were trying to change me. And I think that's one reason why the relationships were so rocky and terrible, because they were too busy trying to change me and they don't know me. I'm not going to change, especially after all the trauma that I have been through and I have faced. Everyone trying to change me or everyone trying to tell me, you're normal, walk right, do this, you're lazy, you're this, you're that, or whatever. I've heard that all my life. Everyone trying to change me or tell me who I'm supposed to be all of my life. I know who I'm going to be. And if you don't like it, don't date me. It's like, but then men try to blame me or say I'm crazy or I'm mad of it because I'm not going to change for them or that I have different standards that kind of exceeds what they are capable and able of doing. But they will lie to get you. Mr. No Heart. Oh, that no good. He lied so much. And I'm going to get to his lies in a minute, but I still cannot believe so many of these MAGA, poorly educated, ignorant, arrogant, despicable, heartless people. I believe them, I believe it, but I don't. Because I do believe that they're so hateful, awful, terrible, and bigoted that they will follow this liar. Yeah. In my opinion, though, he's a liar, but I mean, the whole cats and dogs thing, and that, oh, he doesn't want to be a dictator, but you might be one for day one, or just, I mean, the list goes on. Oh, and that he didn't really do anything with Stormy Daniels, and yeah, and many of the other, like him hiding all these files. Why are you hiding the Epstein files? Why are you hiding them? I mean, if you're not lying, you should be boastful and happy. They shouldn't be trying their best to black out your name. Why would they need to black out your name if your name is in there and you're innocent? It should just be, oh, okay, yeah, he was on the plane, whatever, whatever, whatever. Oh, he was at this function with them. Okay, whatever. Next. But it's not next. It's next. Ooh. Yeah, ooh. But, I mean, lie. So many lies. And watch the clip that I have in here because, yeah, he talks about once you say a lie enough times, they'll start to believe you. He said he was a Christian man for years. And even when they asked him what is his favorite verse or the Old Testament or New, and he could not answer any of the questions. And I think with one of the chapters he said wrong. I want to say it was Job. I think he said Jobs. All I know is like he messed up like the chapter, and it's just like, okay, if you have all of these Christian advisors and stuff, shouldn't they teach you how to say the chapter before you get up there and start saying this speech? Shouldn't they? Shouldn't they? And then he wants to say that he's the least racist person. I like, because remember years ago, he kept trying to say that he's the least racist person, but getting caught with redlining. And then look what they're doing now. Look at what the Supreme Court decided now. His Supreme Court, the people he chose, and even some of the people he chose, it kind of sounds like some of them were lying with how they got there in the first place. But that's just my opinion, though. Yeah, the one that enjoys drinking beer. Like, yeah, I'm suspicious. Yeah. I will never believe that one. I will never believe that man. Never. Never. Okay. But so many men out here I think voted for him because they want to be able to lie. They want to be able to lie as much as humanly possible. Look at so many of the people that were against him years ago, but now they're right next to him, cheering him on, doing whatever he wants. JD Vance, he was saying, be careful of him. And I think he was the one who mentioned that he was going to probably try to be a dictator. And look what he's doing. And then his wife is pregnant again. He's going to have another baby that's going to be a person of color or mixed. But look at all the things he says against his wife, against his children. It's like, in one way, he has to lie one way or the other. Do you want your wife? Do you love your wife? Because if you, like the way you drag her, especially when it comes to your religion, and like, even he said all that religious stuff, but he had no problem impregnating her. It's like he wishes a lot of things, but he had no problem doing. So yeah, I'll pass by that one. But it's like, you're gonna talk about her that way, and part of me's just like, she let him in the bedroom. Like, after that, like, I want to know how many months she is, because I want to do the math with when did he say this and when did she get pregnant. Because with some of the like, many of the things he has said, especially over the last year, I'm like, you let him in that bedroom, because one way or another he has to be lying. And are you tolerating the lie? Are you okay with the lie, even though he's talking about people that look like you and your children? I mm, I'm just. And then we have I think Christy Noam. It's like, because a lot of these Republican people, they have no problem cheating on their spouse. They have a problem with the LGBTQ plus community, but it's like they're the ones cheating. And based off of one verse in the Bible, they're against LGBTQ, but that is a translation of a translation of a translation. If you go through the history of that Bible, it wasn't like that. It didn't like. So yeah. But then adultery, it's been in there. It's been in there. So part of me is just like, shouldn't you be taking care of your household? Shouldn't you be making sure you don't cheat? And especially as a woman, with some of the laws they're trying to do and make, is like, you would be stuck with your husband. And also like, and I mean, I don't mean like stuff like, because some people, they're gonna live happily ever after with the first person they marry. Congratulations. But especially with the Heritage Foundation and the things they want to do, forcing women to marry at a young age when that woman may not know who she is, what she wants to do, her dreams, her goals, but they think her only goal should be to have as many children as possible and to stay home and to take care of a man, a grown man who should be able to take care of himself and that should be able to help with the household. But no, he thinks that's her job. And some of these men actually think cooking, cleaning, and laundry is not a job, but then they don't want to do it. If it's not a job, why wouldn't you want to do it? If it's easy, why wouldn't you want to do it? Yeah. But then when you want to take care of the kids, it's babysitting. But when the woman does it, it's parenting. Yeah. But it's like, you hear a lot of these men out here saying how they want the home and all this other stuff. No, you want women to be property. Don't lie. Say it as you mean it. Because some of these men are trying to take women's rights away, their vote away, their body of choices away. you want her to just be a birthing factory, and it's like it's risking her life. But at the same time, it's like now we have a government who they don't they want to stop tests that have to do with women and female. Like they have a list of like studies where it's like, oh, if it's focused on black people, no, or like women, no. But you want babies. You should focus on women to make sure that women can stay alive to make those babies. And this is why I said a few episodes ago, like one of the only reasons these, like years ago, are like the colonizers brought over, the colonizers brought over women was so that they can keep birthing people. That was the only reason. Because every law, everything circles around colonizing men. Some, like, oh, people of color and black men benefit from it too. And now they want to have the same luxuries, especially because of the Bible and because of religion. They want to benefit from it too. But then at the same time, they want to lie about it, because in their sermons they twist and turn a lot of the things to the point where it's like, okay, ladies, yeah, you have to be submissive, you have to do, the man is the head of the household because of A, B, and C. But a lot of these men are not leaders, but then they want to put down women who are leaders, and they say that women can't be leaders even though women mature faster than men. We can't be leaders, but we mature faster than men. We're more empathetic. We are like, and then they want to put us down for being emotional. But a lot of these men are too scared to have an emotion other than anger. But then when these men want to put out that anger, a lot of them lie and turn it around and blame the woman for that anger, and or say that the woman is the emotional one if the woman reacts. So we have to be careful, because a lot of these men out here, they will lie in a minute. Because Mr. No Heart lied all of, like, around Valentine's Day, I'm going to be saying quite a few like dating nightmares, horrific dating stories. Because a lot of my life, it was dating trauma. I learned a lot about myself because, on top of what my mom used to always say, as long as you walk like that, no one's ever going to want you, love you, or marry you. It's like I kept settling because I was just trying to prove her wrong. But then doing that, I ended up in some of the most toxic, terrible relationships. And parts of me is disappointed in myself because, but at the same time, I was just trying. I was like, I was at least trying. I wanted to try to find somebody to love me, but they kept I kept bumping into liars, manipulative, gaslighting, no good liars, men who would try to degrade me, put me down, and just twist and turn everything. Because with Mr. No Heart, oh, and then he would be like, but I'm the victim. Yeah, I'm not good with money, so I'm the victim. I need your money, and but since you won't let me borrow your money, I'm the victim, even though I spend all of my money on video games and 420, and I won't get a second job or a side gig to, in order to, take care of my own daughters. And sometimes I'm going to call you and tell you that I can't afford to feed them because I'm going to need your help. But then when you come over, I'm going to have tons of 420 on me, and I'm going to spend money on different things that especially, I'm a smoker, and I'm not going to quit. I refuse to quit even though my daughters keep asking me to quit. And even though it's bad for my health, and even though it's taking money from my wallet, I'm not going to quit. And then even after you break up with me, I'm playing the guilt trip because, oh my gosh, yeah. When I broke up with him, he was playing the victim. He was acting like I was hurting him. Little boy, sit your ugly, no good, dumb butt down. It's like you want to be the victim. You keep lying to me, but you want to be the victim. You refused to go to my mother's funeral. You refused to go to my major surgery. You kept lying that you were going to come over to my house and at least visit me. You refused to call me, so then I wait for you to call. I never heard his voice since February of 2020. That is the last time I heard his voice. Because I started the phone strike March 1st or 2nd, something like that. And then I texted him because after a month passed by, I'm like, "Are you okay? Is your phone working?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He was like, "What do you want to talk about? I'm here. What do you want to talk about?" And I was like, "No, I got my fix. I'm good." And then April, no contact. May, June, and then I think it was around July 10th, I want to say. That's when I get the text from him about the Magic School Bus coming back to PBS. Yeah. But then he tried to lie and blame me. We didn't talk to each other throughout the entire relationship. I told him, I'm not your maid, your secretary, your receptionist, your assistant, your helper. No. I was like, I call you to see how you're doing, to check up on you. But I need you to call me sometimes too. And other than when you need money, when you need my body, when you need my car, I don't want you to only call me when you need my property. Because that's the only time he called me, is when he wanted something from me. But then after, like, sometimes I'm like, well, I'm busy. I'm at a job because I was working. And then I was working multiple jobs because I was trying to buy a house. Yeah. I wanted to buy a house and he knew this. And so he figured out a way to try to coerce himself into the house. Because I know he was planning. All he did was plan. All he did was lie. Because even when he said that he loved me, he didn't love me. He loved what he got out of me. He found a woman who likes cooking and will work her tush off to try to get to different goals, who wanted to start a business, but he lied about that too. If you go back, I tell that story. He begged me to start a business with him, gave me a tour of his house of how he would want to set up, but he had terrible credit. Terrible credit. So he needed my money for capital, and he needed me to like get the records, and I was doing the filing, I was doing the research, I was doing the marketing, I was getting the clients and everything. But he lied because I still don't know why. But because he was like, you're going to be able to pay off your student loans. You're going to be able to buy a house easily. You're going to be on your own, independent. We're going to be so big. This is going to be amazing. I promise you. Yeah. 6 months. He comes into the kitchen and tells me, no more. I'm done. I quit. Didn't pay me back a penny. And even when I brought it up, all you think about is money. All you want is your money. When do I bring up money? Oh, well, you're trying to invest. Like, part of me wonders, did he do that on purpose? Because this man owes me like $4,000 to $5,000 altogether. Because with the gas money, he told me he'll start paying me back at some point. But with the business, it was around $2,500, and the rest is like gas money and different things. He paid me back when, after his car or his truck broke down. It's like, because, yeah, oh, I demanded that. I wanted the rest, but I was like, he has his daughters. I want to make sure he can take care of his daughters. So I will wait until he's able to start giving me like $20 or $40 a week or per paycheck or whatever. Because I'm like, because that's one of the main reasons I helped him. Because I never wanted his daughters to think of him as a deadbeat dad. It's like if those girls even knew how much I helped him, but they don't care. They don't care. But their dad, they don't know how much he lied to me. And that's one reason with the president. It's like when I hear a liar and one so many, like I'm used to it. I picked up on it. And I remember my ex when I would tell him, like before, like at the beginning of the election when he was first going for the first term, I told him, I was like, no, he is dangerous. And he didn't realize some of the, my ex had some of the same patterns as the orange man. They have a lot in common, especially with how they lie. And I think the 92% of us women, like some of us picked up on the pattern of the lies, also the racism and the bigotry and the hatred and the capitalism, things like that, but especially the lying, we picked up on. But a lot of the Christian community, and I am a Christian, but I'm not, I'm not one of these gullible, yeah. So I picked up and I noticed the patterns, and especially how he repeats things. He repeats things until it's like in your head, because at first you're like, no, that's not true. And then you're like, maybe it's true. Well, he says it so many times that why would a man lie this many times? Because he's the orange man, because he wants power, because he knows the power of, like, because that's like an advertising and marketing trick. Like sometimes it takes someone 7 times before they will buy. And with lies, sometimes if you say things over and over, like it gets in your mind, it gets in your head until you think there's probability, until you think it's possibility of it being true. And a lot of these MAGA people, they do not realize what's going on, what happened, by them being gullible. And some of them, their hate, their hate is hungry for these lies. They need these lies. They need to survive off these lies. And I'll probably do another episode on this because, yeah, when I say my ex lied all of the time, he did. Especially when it came time to calling that woman from, or when that woman from California called him, or he called her. But that's the funny thing. Like, he wouldn't call me unless he needed money, unless he needed something from me. But with that woman from California, who I think is like, okay, you say you're never going to marry again. You say that you want to be with me for the rest of your life, but you won't even call me. You'll talk to this woman. And when she calls you, you step out of the realm. You make sure you're not near me when you talk to her. But then when I coincidentally pass by your phone, I hear your voice. Part of me is just like, you should have been dating her, but you needed my wallet. And since she's all the way in California, you needed my body. You needed my attention. You needed my help for your daughters. So I was more of your help than a girlfriend. Yeah. He lied so much, especially when with starting the business, and also when it came to, like, even with my mom's funeral, he told me the reason. Well, I'm gonna probably be the only white guy there. And it's like, when I told him, no, you're not. Well, I'm gonna feel like it. How are you gonna feel like it when we're gonna have like people from all different types of nationalities there? And just, there's so much to it, but watch out for these liars. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handy capable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too.